Cowboys cannot, will not, and should not move off Amari Cooper. And it's simple. I'm going to tell you why. What's good, people? It's your boy, Mr. Rome, Cowboys fan talk, right back like I never left. Look, before we get off into the main event, Amari Cooper, let me just tell y'all one thing, man. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that supports me, supports CFT's channel. All the likes, shares, comments. Cowboys Nation has been pretty depressing lately. You know, doom and gloom, and I hate everything. And I'm not happy neither. You know, I'm just more on the side of trying to figure out how to fix things than to just complain about them. That's just me. No hate to nobody that want to complain. Do your thing. Just don't try to convert me, because I ain't here to do it. But I appreciate y'all, man. Seriously, thank you for rocking with me daily, every other day, etc. I appreciate you. But look, Amari Cooper, man, the topic of discussion, because everybody wants to talk about, should we move off Amari? Is he making too much, etc., etc., etc. And I'm here to tell you this. So I know you want to know, why did he say there's a reason we shouldn't, cannot, will not, all that stuff, move off Amari? It's simple. Amari Cooper is 27 years old. 27. And you know why that's substantial? He's 27 years old with 8 years of experience. Amari Cooper played 4 years in Las Vegas, and he's now played officially 4 years in Dallas. And I know everybody said, what about the injuries and the stuff? Amari Cooper's, I don't think he's ever missed a full game for Dallas outside of COVID. Outside of COVID. That's crazy. He's had to come out of some games. But I've seen Amari power through injuries, win us games single-handedly off of catches. I seen him win a game in Philly off a catch against Philly. I seen him win a game this year, the Minnesota game. Amari Cooper put the team on his back that last drive. Without those catches, without that touchdown catch, Zeke don't even get to make that run. Amari Cooper is important, but he has 8 years of experience. He's only 27. Amari Cooper has never not shown up for the Cowboys when he gets the targets. He's consistent. His yards reads as follows. Since he's been in Dallas, 725 yards when he got traded mid-season, right? Then 2019, 1,189 yards, 15 yards average. 2020, when he lost Dak. Remember, he lost Dak for most of the season. But he still got 1,114 yards, 12-yard average. This year, only 68 receptions, and he got 865 yards. The year before, 92. The year before that, 79. But the thing that bugs me out about Amari is he's getting 1,100 yards, almost 900 yards, and he's getting half the targets. Like half the targets. It's not even close. The production, 8 touchdowns this year. 5 the year before without Dak, and then with Dak in 2019, 8 touchdowns. Like Amari Cooper produces. Amari Cooper came out and said, I could lead the league in these stats. I could be up there in the top tier, top 5, if I got the targets, if I got the actual, attention that other receivers. Look at Cooper Kupp. Because I know everybody wants to say, well, what about Cooper Kupp? First of all, Cooper Kupp is 29. Amari Cooper is 2 years younger than him. That's first. Second of all, Cooper Kupp this year, target-wise, let's just go to stats. He got 145 receptions this year. Target-wise, I'm sure he was probably in the almost 200 range. That's crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. I'm sure Devontae Adams gets double the targets. I'm sure, let me bring up some of these receivers. I'm sure Stephon Diggs gets double the targets. I'm sure Allen Robinson, even in Chicago, gets all of the targets. And Amari Cooper's younger than all of them. Cooper Kupp, 29. DeAndre Hopkins is 29. Devontae Adams, 29. Stephon Diggs, 28. Allen Robinson's 28. OBJ's 29. Tyreek Hill is 27. Amari Cooper's the same age as Calvin Ridley. How's that even possible? I've seen people like, let's get rid of Amari and bring in Calvin. They're the same age. It's crazy to me. Keenan Allen, 29. Now, there's a lot of young receivers that are great. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown. Yes, Amari Cooper's not quite as young as them. They've been in the league for a couple years. But which one of them has 8 years of NFL experience? To be eight-year veteran, and you'll say, that's a lot of tread on his tire. He's not a running back. An 8-year veteran, he's seen it all, been to it all, been to the playoffs multiple times, performed in the playoffs too. Showed up in that Rams game. Showed up in the Niners game. Who scored the touchdown? Y'all got to start putting some respect on Amari Cooper's name. Because some of these games where you're like, no one's showing up. Amari usually gets a catch, usually gets things going. In the Denver game, Amari got some of the better catches of the game. Amari still can get separation at the top of his routes. Amari still is the best route runner on this team, bar none, hands down, until I'm proven wrong. Because last year, I wanted to give it to CeeDee Lamb because I felt like he can high point the ball better than Amari. He maybe a little bit more physical with the run, and he gets the ball in his hands. But you know what? You know who's consistent? You know who always gets it done? Even though CeeDee had more yards than him this year, he had more targets. And even with him getting more targets, guess who had more touchdowns? Amari Cooper. And this isn't Pitt, CeeDee versus Amari. My point is, why don't you keep CeeDee Lamb and Amari together? And you might just be able to keep Michael Gallup on this team too, since he's returning from injury, and he might want to just go in and sign a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal, come back out there and do his thing. Might. We'll see. But my point is, you can't move off of Amari Cooper. You just can't. He's too young, too valuable, too much of a veteran. I know they brought in that guy. Amari Cooper's been a top type of receiver in the league longer, almost 3 times longer than Kellen Moore has been an offensive coordinator. He's only 27. Just think about that. That age thing is so crazy to me because people forget. They start to think, Amari Cooper's been around so long. You start thinking he like 31, 32. You just feel like that because he's an 8-year veteran. 8 literal years in the league. I'm not making that up. Look at it. Hold on, let me bring up the stats. Hold on. 8 in the league. Can y'all see that? It's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. Y'all tell me in the comments how y'all feel about this. Because for us to be, not us, for the team, Stephen Jones and them to act like he's not super important. He hasn't been just as important to this team as any other offensive weapon is blasphemous to me. We've had the number one offense 2 out of the last 3 years. Amari Cooper has been the number one receiver in those years. To just try to throw that away like before Amari Cooper got here, we weren't struggling, trying to do that wide receiver by committee. I know. I can hear it already. Oh, the Dak haters. Well, if Dak's so important, he should be able to do it without. There's no great quarterback in this league that ain't got a great receiver pair. So cut it out. Even the great Joe Burrow, who's been crowned. And I like Joe Burrow. His game elevated when he got Jamar Chase. The Bengals ain't thinking about getting rid of Chase because they're going to have to pay him one day. Amari Cooper, yes, he makes $20 million. But I'm here to tell y'all he worth every dime. You don't get rid of him. The going rate for receivers of his caliber is about $20 million. He need to keep his money. We need to keep him on this team because he's important. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments about that, man. Amari Cooper's age is something that doesn't get talked about enough, but it's extremely important. He's important. I'll holla.